Deep within Australia's largest wilderness area is a pristine river flowing through inaccessible, rugged and remote country. Accessing the river involves a multi-day trip with difficult path finding and exposed scrambling in abundance. Tracks in this country are almost non-existent, with thick vegetation, loose rocks and cliffs not marked on topographic maps aplenty. In this adventure, we abseil our way down a creek system, eventually arriving at a picturesque gorge with arguably one of the best wilderness campsites I've ever stayed at.
How amazing is that?
Following a delicious fresh cooked dinner, we sleep under the stars before awaking the next morning and watching the sun rise over the gorge with a hot brew in hand. We wade upstream for a kilometre, eventually past finding our way up the ridge and back towards civilization. Join me as I spend a night camping deep within a gorge in Australia's largest wilderness area.
Like if there's fucking cameras at these fucking...
Probably only need to bring one keg to minimise. Good morning. Well, technically good afternoon. Just after midday. Jared and I are off looking along an old fire trail, heading out to the Colo River in the Wollemi National Park. You can also see that we've dropped the dead weight from our overnight Kanangra video. We decided Brad wasn't up to being invited along on this trip. Slowed us down too much, so it's just Jared and I this time heading out. Heading for an overnighter canyon trip. Canyon is a loose term. We're going to follow kind of a creek line as it passes its way through the cliff line down. Jesus. We're going to do a canyon trip down to the Colo River. Canyon is a loose term. We're following a kind of dry creek down to the Colo. Now the Colo River is in the Wollemi National Park of New South Wales, which is the largest national park in New South Wales, and I think it's also the largest wilderness area, possibly in Australia. So looking forward to spending some time down there. We've driven along a fire trail for about 10 k's, bit of four-wheel driving required, and now walking through this kind of old abandoned fire trail you can see here. Bit of regrowth. Hopefully shouldn't be too long till we're at the top of the creek taking us down to the canyon. You'll also notice that I'm just going to be doing the entirety of this video on this little action cam I've got here. The other camera I had broke on our trip through Kanangra-Boyd, and unfortunately I sent it off for repairs, and the cost to repair it was going to be more than the camera itself would cost to buy new. So because of that, I'm just waiting till I can financially afford to get a new camera, and then I'll be back to the normal style of content. But hopefully this is something a bit different and something that is enjoyable to watch. So yeah, hang around for the rest of the video and I'll show you down to the Colo River in the beautiful Wollemi National Park. Anything to say, Jared?
No, I'm a little bit nervous about the camera situation. Don't let me anywhere near that thing and I'll be good.
Yeah, Jared is prime suspect number one for the camera malfunction last trip, so I'm keeping the camera well away from him.
2 meters.
Yeah, stay away. Oh, I'll see you down there. Making our way on the single track now out towards the lookout, which will give us a nice vantage point looking down to the Colo, and then from there bit of off track to the start of the creek system. It's a bloody hot day. By the time we did our groceries, drove out along the fire trail and packed and actually got on the trail. It's just after midday, so hottest part of the day. Moving slowly through here, and we know that we'll have an amazing water hole at the bottom to cool us off. So even though we're working, shouldn't be too bad and should be well deserved at the end. So we've turned off the trail as of a little while ago. We're pretty much relying, well, there's no track whatsoever, so we're just bush bashing through here. We know the direction we want to go to the creek. We can actually see the saddle, which is our marker just down there. So we're just pushing through to get to it. The terrain's pretty thick here, as you can see. Not only is the terrain thick, but there's plenty of rocks and small cliff lines that aren't marked on the map, so there's a fair bit of path finding and navigation required. So we're just going slowly, making our way through and down to the creek. Baby. So we made our way down the creek and just arrived at this stunning overhung cave, sheltered from the scorching heat. I'm bloody sweating. Are you sweating?
Pretty hot.
It's over 30 degrees. The creek we're trying to hit's just down there, so the canyon shouldn't take too long for us to reach. So it's going to have a bit of a snack here, recharge, rest out in the shade, cool off, and we'll continue heading down in a bit. Yeah, so when we arrived at the cave, I thought there was a bit of plastic left on the ground, as you can see here. But it was only upon closer inspection that I saw it's actually a little lizard skin. Put it down here. You can see the little hand. It's not focusing. You can see its little hand. Again. So Jared and I have made it to the main creek. It's a fair bit cooler down here, almost rainforesty. We're out of the direct sun and you feel the moistness and a fair bit of moss and ferns are out here. So not the terrain we kind of expected visiting here, but it is a welcome change. A couple hundred meters of walking along the creek, scrambling over logs, the usual. And that will get us to the first abseil and down to the Colo River where we'll spend the night. Like, I know I talk about people playing music's annoying, but wilderness trips like this where we're actually playing the music. Oh, under 3 hours, pretty good. Yeah. So we've arrived at the first abseil. You can see it behind me on that tree there, about 15 meters down to a ledge below. From here we've got about another 7 abseils and that'll take us through to the Colo River. Baby, get shaky. Rope. I will see you down there.
See you there, bruh.
It's a pretty cool slot.
Yeah, it is cool.
Oh no! It's alright, bro. Happy snap. Oh, no good. No, it's alright. Oh man, that's sick. That is insane. Oh, and as you come down, check out the layers of the sandstone, man. Check out the layers of the sandstone as you abseil. It's beautiful. Insane. Oh shit. Yeah, it's slippery.
Bye.
That looked really professional, didn't it? You. How amazing is that? Jared and I have made it down to the river. You can see Jared behind me about there. He just got off the last abseil. We both agree that this has to be one of the most beautiful environments we've ever seen. The sandstone walls behind us are huge, hundreds of meters tall. It's pure wilderness here. There's no signs that anyone else has been here. The river is flowing. Beautiful temperature. I might go for a dip a bit later. And it's just amazing that we have this so close to Sydney. It's one thing seeing these beautiful places in photographs or videos, but actually being here yourself and being dwarfed by these walls, seeing how tall they actually are, seeing how amazing the gorge behind me actually is, just really goes to show me, and I'm sure if you were to come here it would show you too, why it is so important that we preserve these places, look after them so that the next generation and generations after can enjoy them as much as we have. It's just absolutely amazing. We are over the moon to be here. We have a nice flat sandy bank. We'll be setting up our camp. We're going to sleep under the stars tonight. You can see a little bit cloudy, a little bit wispy, but the forecast is alright. Sleep here, just on some sleeping mats and sleeping bags, and just really experience this place for what it has to offer, with minimal protections between us and nature. I'll talk to you a bit later once we've packed up the ropes and we're setting up camp for the night. Say SOS, please can help. Yeah, buddy. Got our dinner here. We got steak, potatoes, some greens cooking up over the campfire now. Amazing sunset. Chilling around the campfire now. Dinner's done. We had some steak, potato, and then some greens. It was pretty good. We got the charred aspect down. Pretty on point, I'd say. What did you say, Jared?
Yeah, not bad though.
Not bad overall. Well deserved after a long day of walking and abseiling and pushing through scrub. So sitting by the fire now, watch the sun go down with an amazing pink sunset. I'm just going to hang out here a bit longer till the fire dies out, then get ready for bed before we're up early tomorrow, heading upstream and making our way up a pass and out of this gorge here. Morning from Jared and I. It's about 6:40 here. We've woken up. Jared's been kind enough to get a brew on for us. It's bloody freezing here. Without the sunlight and with a bit of a breeze, it's, I don't know, colder than 10 degrees. So I'm rugged up. Jared in his thermals having a sip, trying to warm up. We'll pack up our makeshift campsite here. Did a bit of cowboy camping last night, pretty basic, just under the stars, as you can see. That's my setup. Jared's over there. The stars were absolutely amazing. Given that this area is so remote in the wilderness, there's no light pollution out here, so you could just see hundreds of stars. It was just beautiful. So once we pack up today, the game plan is we're going to head about 1.5 kilometres upstream, so walking along the sandbags or just through the river itself. It's only about ankle to knee deep. So head up there for 1.5 kilometres, which hopefully won't take us too long. At that point we will ascend a ridge that will take us out of the gorge here. You can see the terrain in this environment is very dramatic, so passes or effectively routes out of here are few and far between. So yeah, our only option is 1.5 kilometres upstream. There is another option that we could go about 1 kilometre downstream. That one involves some rock scrambling and we're not familiar with that path, so we're not going to risk it having got our ropes and packs with us. We'll just go for the easier option, which I think is the wise choice. Pretty cool. So we've packed up the camp here behind us, spread the sand back over where the fire was to try and leave no trace of where we were last night. The sun's slowly coming in over the gorge behind us. You can see the sun peeking through, but we're still pretty nice and cool, which is the perfect temperature for us to start walking, heading upstream. Hopefully not getting too wet as we wade further up to our pass out of here. Jesus, making our way upstream. Some sections of the sand, yeah, sink in bloody deep. That's knee deep just there. Whoa. That's better. Oh, what an amazing place to be in. So you can see all the way at the top of that cliff, that's where we started off yesterday. 7 abseils down to the base of the river here. And you can see Jared up here in the distance. It's approaching the confluence of the Colo and the Wollemi. Pretty important junction here. The Colo gets its waters from the Bungalbori, from Dumbana, from Nailk. So many great creek systems in the northern Blue Mountains and the Wollemi wilderness that has beautiful canyons and pristine ecosystems. So we're going to keep heading up the Wollemi, ignoring the turn off to the Colo, and our path shouldn't be too much further ahead. As you may have been able to tell, the wading through this water is going pretty slow and surprisingly tough, even though there's not that much flow visible in the water. As soon as it gets up to kind of mid-shin or knee-deep, you're working bloody hard to push through it. We are lucky, however, that there's a bit of a breeze and the sun's not down upon us yet, so moving slowly but staying relatively cool and not sweating too much, which is good, because we'll be doing a bloody lot of that later when we do a 400 metre ascent back up to the trail and back to our car. So you can see here we have the Colo Creek to our left there and the Wollemi Creek to our right. So we're going to keep heading up the Wollemi Creek, around the bend, back down that way, and then eventually we'll find kind of a relatively gentle, when we consider the nature of the terrain out here, relatively gentle spur, which we'll take up the top and back to the trail and to our car. That's the game plan anyway. As you know, on this channel we sometimes things take a bit longer, sometimes things don't go to plan, so we'll see what happens, but that is the game plan we have so far. Just walking here, following Jared up the creek bed, and almost walked straight into this fella here. Bloody big boy. Go on the other side to try and see what he is. You are? I'm not. So as you've seen, we've been scrambling along, effectively boulder hopping for the past couple hundred meters up from the confluence of the creek down there. Heading up just around this bend is where we're going to be ascending the ridge, and there's actually a lookout pretty much on those rocks up there that we'll have a breakout and look back down on this amazing creek system that we were just in. just behind me we found a amazing swimming hole. I mean, look at that thing. It's almost like Olympic size 50 meters, if not longer, of some pristine water in the Wollemi wilderness. I'm not going to give it a dip. I'm keen to get around to the other side before the sun hits and start making our way up, but Jared might be giving it a crack for a quick little dip. We'll find out in a bit. So we're making very slow going here. We've done about 1 kilometre, it's taken us just over an hour. So very thick terrain and a lot of tricky route finding around boulders and such. Now, the good news, if you thought the pool that I showed you before was beautiful, which it was, but if you thought that was the best thing you're going to see, you're going to be surprised. Pop around the corner and I see Jared standing on a rock in front of this section of water, and I go, what's he looking at? Then it came into view. Holy crap. Look at that. You could hear it echoing down the gorge, going down further. This place is just magical. Pure magic. This section of the wilderness is very tough. Absolutely no track. Pretty thick vegetation. We just had to route find around multiple caves and small cliffs of about 10 meters that weren't marked on the map. So we did a fair bit of scrambling. A couple of sections that would have been no fall zones. That means a place where effectively you can't fall because you're going to fall a long way down and hurt yourself. So we're quite careful with those. We're now pushing up to the top of the ridge where we're going to have a break. We'll have some water up there. Dump our packs, run back down to the creek, refill, and get prepared for the 450 meter ascent back out.
A little bit shy. Oh, deep again. I'm good.
Back down at the creek, Wollemi Creek here behind me. We have to descend from back up there, so just under 100 meters to get down here. we decided to top up our water supplies, so we descended from down up on that ridge. Found this amazing swimming hole and lazy river, which Jared checked out just before. Topped up with our water now, and we're going to climb back up the exact way that we came, and then hopefully follow the ridge along, get to the lookout for a break, and back home. So Jared and I just had a quick break, purified our water, had some snacks, and we're now on the way out of here. Despite the fact we had to walk 100 meters down the hill to access the water, we were thankful that we did, because in doing so at the bottom we located a faint track, which is the track that was supposed to be here, and it's going to take us back up. So rather than ascend this rocky ridge behind us like we were going to do, we're now hoping to have a significantly easier vague track we can follow. So Jared's heading over to his t-shirt he tied on the tree to indicate where that track was, and we'll start heading up from there.
Nearly there.
Stunning. We're here now at about 250 meters of elevation. You can see down there, that's where we started. When we topped up our water, it's a lovely breeze taking away the heat of the day and wicking our sweat, because it's bloody hard work. Heading up all the way up to the top there. There should be a lookout, nice view there, and at that point, hopefully easy going on a trail all the way back. That's where we got to go, up there. Alright, there's the top for us.
That is a big butt.
Know what it is?
I'm not very good with my spiders.
So Jared and I have made it to our lookout and our lunch spot. Cracking view behind us. We got Wollemi Creek down there leading into the Colo River, deep down into the gorge, back towards civilization. We've got the Colo back upstream, just up there behind that ridge. Coming over this way, we got the horseshoe bend of Wollemi Creek. Just down there is where we started our climb up today. Absolutely amazing place here. Gonna eat some food, have some electrolytes, and then keep heading back. We've still got another 200 meters of ascent, but luckily no more up that steep ridge. And past finding up that should be a nice gentle gradient taking us back to our car. And we are up on the ridge, heading back now. Reasonable path here for us, which is quite nice after a long steep ascent. Bloody hot now. Now they're up top, sheltered by this vegetation. There's no breeze, so we're working hard, and it is also 2 o'clock, so the hottest part of the day. Nevertheless, we're in good spirits. We're feeling a fair bit more energetic than we were coming out of Kanangra last month. So vibes are high. We'll just keep trotting on, making our way back. Good stuff, bro.
Well done, brother.
Woo. Woo. So, we've just made it back to the car. Absolutely sweating. At 2:30 now. We've got ourselves a ice cold Powerade and a bag of Doritos Mexicana ready for us. Doritos, you're still welcome to hit us up for sponsorship. Jared, what were your thoughts on the canyon overall?
Average quality canyon, maybe like, I don't know, 5 out of 10. And then you get to the last abseil and you look over the Colo River and it just makes everything all worth it.
Yeah.
From that point on, it was just, yeah, you're lost for words.
Yeah. Canyon itself was, I don't know, all the abseils were quite tricky.
Yeah, very awkward.
And there was a bit of bush bashing at the start, but the campsite at the end and the views just make it worth it, I reckon.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Best campsite I think we've ever stayed at.
Yeah, it was an amazing campsite.